I feel a breeze, soft, cold. The season is changing. The patterns have shifted. We're no longer connected to the outside world. A new invasion of a foreign species has come to our shores to live amongst us. The docks are now empty after the gates have been opened. Shall we just follow the yellow brick road? What is the outcome going to be? Says the insider who does not know. This new species does not discriminate. It does not voice its prejudices amongst our people. It does not segregate by the colour of our skin. It does not look at us with disdain, and it does not keep its distance by crossing the road when it feels my being. It is silent. Can you hear it or feel it? Or are you ignoring it by laughing through it as you let the system know you're not going to comply with its new rules by being alone, isolated? Do you fear it, my friend? I do. I am at risk. My respiratory system cannot support my obesity as a man. I can barely breathe as it is. Shallow breaths. My life is a silent rhythm of shallow steps. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4. Am I the virus knocking at your door? In my room, I have self-determination, sovereignty. I am independent. Can I form a treaty with it by bottling its breath within this glass jar? If I drop it, will it shatter into 1,000 species? Sorry, pieces. I am alone, sitting on my bed, waiting, listening, watching. I open my mouth wide and scream silently. Desperation. Is anybody hearing me? No? I am alone. What shall I eat after all the anxiety of my feasting? Waist, girth, wider and wider and wider, and now I cannot move. I am slow and growing old, but I am not dead. I wonder how and when I might get support from the system. A system that is supporting a system of people, but I query in my mind as to how and why I cannot receive the support I might need. Like the coin of $1, or the colour of a note, or the decimal point in my account that says maybe I have $1 or 2 to purchase an item I might need. At the end of the day, it's just money. And what is the purpose of money if you don't have it? And for some weird reason, Australia, now after 8 weeks, we have hope. Hope that by working together, we will sustain the loss of our indignity. We will rise to the occasion of our failings and strive to be the society we can be, whilst walking side by side with our new foreign invaders who are silent and free, invisible to be deadly until an antidote we can see. But let's not forget our fine, distinguished fellow Australians who have walked before us and fallen at their last hurdle of breathlessness. May they find peace and love in the comfort of their Creator. Where do we go next, Australia? Just up the road, my cousin's place.
Down a long line of cracks, your caseworker calls. She's talking again at the notes on her desk. So many names, so many families. I think it's you she's referring to. Your mothers are missing you. Your fathers all sing for you. Your cousins are whispering your name. Long stocking. Our paper-clipped baby. She doesn't see the life that fills you up. The pops and scrapes of your teeth while you sleep. The comfort you find in a graze on your knuckle. The list of children she holds is too long. Each excuse is a thread in a blanket so heavy, it brings us all to our knees. To our knees. She can't get through. It's going to be a while. She said that before. She'll say it again. Oh, and there's business now and lockdown too. We'll try again, but it'll take time. Your mothers are missing you. Your fathers all sing for you. Your cousins are whispering your name. Now, the gates of your homelands are stood with blue soldiers, and they're bringing in body bags instead of supplies. I hear you crying, sister, but I know I'll be good. You hurt your finger again. Something blooms in your chest. There's nothing there, I say. I'm forgetful. Forgive me. Your pain is bigger than any cut. Remember, sister, your mothers are missing you. Your fathers all sing for you. Your cousins are whispering your name. I know a place that waits for you. Your country, sister. Your country.
Well, yes. I mean, with hindsight, you'd probably say it wasn't the ideal time to take the cruise, but honestly, the discounts were ridiculous. And you can't predict the future, can you? It's not the route we'd ideally have taken, but honestly, the views of the various ports and harbours has been stunning. Even from this distance. Oh God, we were so lucky to get a balcony. No, look, what would we have been doing otherwise? Staying at home and frocking up to take out the wheelie bins? No thanks. It hasn't been all bad. We have our health. They're wiping everything down. Food's quite nice. Frank even had a case of Argentinian Malbec flown in by a drone. Didn't you, Frank? Frank? Sleep. Or passed out. Yeah, anyway, they're going to look after us on some, what's it, Nevis or Hicks or, you know, the island the ship's registered in. Not the one that Richard Branson owns, it's an island somewhere in the Caribbean, somewhere. Anyway, they'll let us off there and they'll put us on a charter flight or... I'm sure they haven't forgotten about us. They're all the same though, aren't they? Politicians. I can tell you I was not impressed with them during the bushfires. And I did raise an eyebrow when he told us all we had to cancel our international holidays and rush home. Oh, God. Feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? Oh, well, at least he didn't tell us to drink bleach. You become quite philosophical, don't you? Bobbing along in limbo, looking at life through the portholes. And you know, there are some things you see quite clearly that you couldn't see before. I mean, those people in North India who are seeing the Himalayas for the first time in their lives. You know, and the clear blue of the water in Venice. Clear skies in LA. You do wonder, don't you? I mean, what does it take? It feels like the planet's paused and taken a breath. I said as much to Frank. I said, what happens when we breathe out? He didn't have an answer. You know, it's a shame. I feel like we were meant to, you know, learn something from this. Do things differently. Well, I don't know. Oh no, I had tickets to Harry Potter.
Can you see me? So, I'm here, surrounded. The walls of my room, the walls of this house, sheltered from this in the safe arms of family, waiting for this to end. Stay safe, stay home. These walls are not my home. My heart is here, but not here. It lies inside other walls, walls I have built to stay safe. Because these people who should love me, their words, their actions tell me, if they could see me, they would not love. They would hate. They would harm. I built these walls so that I can become what I need to become. I've lived in them so long, pulled them about me so tight, they've become my skin. Before this, every day I could leave these walls, feel a little free, walk through gardens filled with fresh blooms of learning into forests of knowledge. Your leaves wrapped round me, my spine pressed to yours. I ate your words, delicious words. They moved beneath this skin. Catalysts for change, preparing me to shed this skin. No more. Now I am trapped, frozen in this skin that is not mine, in these walls that are not home, suffocating. Everyone's safe, that's what they say. They'll keep everyone safe, no one left behind, no one forgotten. But if you've never been seen, there's nothing to remember and nothing to forget. Can you see me? Can you see me.
I get it. I get it. But what else did you want me to say? I was confused. I'm confused, miss. It's the truth. I wasn't trying to be a smartass. I'm confused. Look, miss, I tried talking to you one-on-one in lockdown, remember? I asked why there were no Zoom classes in ISO. Yeah, but in the class stream, they were all saying, I'm confused, because they were too. I wasn't trying to egg anyone on. And when you were like, what are you confused about? You need to explain yourself, Huda! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And I was like, no offense, but what? Bracket, lol, bracket. Because, how was I supposed to answer that question? Miss, I'm not trying to talk back at you. I said it because I can't get things if you don't explain them to me, okay? Like the smart Asian chicks. They're fine. They're in ISO with their parents on their back. But my house, it was Ramadan, so I couldn't concentrate because my mum's food processor kept going on and off and on and off so she can make a feast fit for kings for us to break our fast on, which is so stupid because it's not the point. And my parents, they're getting old, but they keep going out. Dad almost died when he realised the Flemington markets were closed. And my brother thinks COVID is bullshit. It was all made up. Yeah, and how do you explain COVID to someone who has Down syndrome? I mean, he didn't care with the bushfires because the New Year's Eve fireworks were still on, which is so freaking messed up. Sorry, miss. He's 35, and he couldn't go out with his group, so he was at home, and he kept getting angry at us and wanting us to take him out. But the stuffed up thing is that he still had to go to work. His job, where he gets $3 an hour to pack boxes. Why is he, someone who is high risk, someone who could die from COVID, why is he still going to work? Why doesn't he get JobKeeper? Why doesn't he matter? During Ramadan in Iftar, he put his doggy's robe over his head and he put his arms up like a ghost and he was like, look at me, I'm invisible. I'm invisible. He is. So yeah, I'm confused, miss. I don't get it. I don't.
Are you eating? You look skinny. Your bones jut out of my screen. Drink the ginseng I bought you. Brighten your skin until it gleams in the sun. Oh, but no, do not go outside. Our skins are yellow, glutinous traps. Those people hurl insults, vitriol, and hate at us. And they stick. They seep into my bones. Stay inside, May. Send Simon to the shops. Is Simon still kind to you? Do you let him touch you, caress you? I know, you hate that word. My skin is starving. It yearns for your heat. Are you soaking your belly with chrysanthemum? Red constellations trace your eyeballs. Heal your eyes with Mummy's favorite tea. Remember how when she was still alive, she used to say that tears are blades of our weaknesses. Never reveal them. Do you know the weight of my skin, May? Almost 4 kilograms. If you laid out my skin, it would cover 2 square meters, the size of this balcony. Matt lives inside and I out here. He is the only one I am allowed to touch, sniff, lick, and fuck. And he disgusts me. But of course, you already know this. I'll have to go before 4 o'clock, before Matt returns. Stop crying for me, May. Stop. I need to know that you will be okay. Are you calling the police? Put the phone down right now. It's happening. Can't you see? I am releasing. I am uniting. I am unzipping my skin. May, are we still connected? Can you still see me? I am floating like Chang'e. Do you think I will reach the moon? 4 kilograms fall away, maybe more. Look at your sister. I am a feather. It's so lovely, May. Spend this moment with me. My flesh kisses the air. My flesh kisses the sun. I kiss the earth. I hope to kiss you again. When I get there, I'll tell Mummy you said hi.
The playground's closed. The council put up a sign saying no one's allowed to play. But it's the only one, so I'm still going. I mean, what are they going to do, fine a 12-year-old? You get the swing to yourself, and the slide, and best of all, Caleb Green is nowhere to be seen. Remember when we used to play King of the Castle? And he'd sit on top of the spiderweb and wouldn't let anyone else get up? We were all just scrambling up the ropes. And he was yelling and kicking and spitting until we just fell through the web or gave up. I gave up, but you didn't. You just kept going back up and up. And then when you were almost at the top and everyone could see Caleb was going to lose, he changed the game. He always changes the game when he's about to lose. And everyone just lets him. Yesterday I just sat up there, alone. I just watched the street and thought about all the little people stuck in their houses. And I thought about you and the thing that happened before lockdown. I made this card for you. Dear Charlie, I'm really sorry for not letting you play gang tiggy with us because you're Asian, and Caleb said we'd catch the coronavirus if you touched us. I don't know why I put my hand up when we took the vote, but I think it was because I was scared of Caleb. Sorry. I know it's not true about you having coronavirus, and I'm really sorry. P.S. You don't have to forgive me if you don't want to. So, yeah. I'll just... Oh, and don't worry, I used hand sanitizer and spray the card with Glen 20, so yeah. And if you wanna, I'll be at the playground this afternoon on top of the spiderweb, if you wanna. I mean, what are they gonna do, find 2 12-year-olds?
steaming in my hands. Your naan and butter chicken getting soggy in the plastic bag. Comfort food, isn't it? Not that butter chicken is a thing back home. Naan is, though, definitely. Crispy on the edges, straight out of the tandoor. I knock on your door. It's my 15th delivery already tonight. Everyone said support local businesses, so you do. But then everyone said, you know, order direct because the delivery companies are exploiting the restaurants. But you see, the problem is those are the companies that hire people like us. And yes, they pay next to nothing, but getting next to nothing is better than getting actual nothing. But tonight, you can't be bothered calling up the restaurant yourself and you're on the app. So here I am, bringing you your food instead of the guy who's the waiter that is now playing delivery driver in his mum's Honda Civic. And yes, the company is taking 25 to 30 to 35% of what you pay, but you don't care. Because even though you're lonely and you can't stand the sound of your housemate's voice anymore, you still don't want to have to call up the Indian takeaway yourself and have to figure out what the hell they're actually saying. I'm not complaining. I'm not. I mean, it helps me pay my quarter of the rent on our 2-bedroom flat. There's 4 of us in there. Jahangir and Parvez are Uber drivers, but no one's going anywhere anymore. And Sohail washes dishes at a restaurant that never quite figured out how to get online. He has a wife and son back home. Whatever home is now. You know, sometimes when they look at us, I know what they're thinking. International student. It's true. Here to take our jobs. Sometimes true. IT, MBA, computing, accounting. Not true. I study science, climate science and disaster preparedness because of all the cyclones and the floods back home. But you know, this is something else. This is fear and anger and fire. And there's no help. Not from the government. Whatever money we have goes to rent and studies. It's actually the mosques and the gurdwaras that make sure we eat every night. A hot meal ready to pick up if you can get there. Sometimes Jahangir gives me a lift. Sometimes it's a train and a bus. Anyway, I'll be fine. I will finish my studies, get a better job, and then when my student visa finishes, I'll get my permanent residency, which everyone seems to tell me that I'll never get. But that makes no sense to me. I mean, the Aussies go to places like New Zealand and Canada and the UK to study and to live and to make money. Not now, like not right now. Anyway, I came to this country to learn how to prepare for disasters. And I think this country could use people like me. Thinking all this as I wait in the cold for you to come and get your butter chicken and naan so I can leave it on the welcome mat and move away because everything is contactless now, isn't it? Anything with cash or meals or anything human, there you are. I go to put the food on your doorstep, but you grab it and you hiss at me, don't put it on the floor. You do your best not to touch me. You move back inside the house, eat alone in your bedroom. And your housemate's door's still closed. And I get back on my bicycle and ride to the next restaurant to pick up more orders to deliver.
I'm in the bottle-o, standing in line on the little yellow circle thingy that has been painted on the floor for social distancing. I have a 6-pack of beer for Ben, bottle of whiskey for me, and a bottle of wine for both of us. We need it after the day we've just had. The security guy comes over and he says, new law for COVID-19. You can get up to 2 boxes of beer and 1 box of wine, or 2 boxes of beer and 2 bottles of spirits, but not all 3. And he points to a sign by the cash register. Now, I'm standing behind a big guy with a freckly, cheeky-faced kid, and he has a trolley loaded with 2 cases of beer and a case of wine. And I say to the security guy, but I've got less than him. The security guy says, doesn't matter. I say, so it's not about volume but variety? He says, correct. I say, surely that law was brought in to save a run on the shops or to stop people drinking too much. Either way, that's not me. At least not compared to him. He's got 60 bottles of booze. I've got 8. I laugh. Big guy with the freckly, cheeky-faced kid laughs. Security guy says, if you put the wine or whiskey back, you can get another case of beer. I'm mad now because it's moronic. I say, does that make sense to you? He says, it's the law. I say, but isn't it up to you to make a common sense judgment call? Security guy, puffed up, red-faced, says, put one item back or I'll be forced to escort you from the shop. And he takes a step forward. And I say, whoa, what's your social distancing? You're breaking the law. He turns purple at that, but he steps back. And the woman behind me pipes in. Don't pick on him. He's just following the law. And the freckly, cheeky-faced kid, must be 4 or 5, says, hello, lady, and waves at me. And I say to the woman behind me, if the law said, let's run any children between 4 and 7 off a cliff because we have too many of the little fuckers, would you do it? And the woman says, oh my God, how can you say that? And I say, because it's about whether something makes sense or not. Because we're not sheep blindly following orders. And it's all about our security, right? And I look around at this point and realise that every customer in the shop has stopped still, all with their booze in hand, watching. And I say, because it's common good, common sense we're after, isn't it? And the law, what it is, how it's interpreted, is up to us. Blank expressions. And I think, hopeless. Hopeless. And I think, what do I put back? Wine or whiskey? And I think, fuck you, virgin. Fuck no one giving a shit. Fuck the future. And it's then that the freckly, cheeky-faced kid starts to laugh. Like, really laugh. She says, that was funny. And I look at this kid with the sunshine smile and I think, shit, I made someone's day at least. Then I laugh a bit and say, was it? And then big guy starts to laugh because his daughter is laughing, and the woman behind me laughs, and the laughter becomes infectious. And this is the amazing bit, because pretty soon everyone, and I mean everyone in the shop, is laughing, even the security guy. And it becomes this great big belly-aching group laugh. When it subsides, the security guy says, you still have to put one item back. And I'm about to say, okay, here, catch, when the woman behind me says, I can buy your wine. And I say, thank you, but that's not the point. And she says, but that is the point, isn't it? It's up to us.
Provider of service was little old me in a pop-up bar, setting up in the street. Now the streets are deathly silent because the virus made them still. No more little piggies travelling around at will. I tell you what, my dog's bloody happy. She gets me all to herself. With a dog, you know where you stand. You do something wrong, you get bit. Nice and simple. I like things nice and simple. All of my heroes were humble and steadfast characters. Like my grandma. She never fussed too much about things and she had a small circle of influence. You might say she lived and died in obscurity, but to us that knew her, she had a profound impact. Though it may not seem lofty, in service we strive,
for the needs of another. May we brighten a day, be the cause of a smile, commitment, dedication, and passion for others. I live my life in the hopes that when she sees me in heaven, that she'll be proud of me. And God too. I don't like to say it too loud. I don't want people making fun of me, but can't help believing in God. Can feel his presence everywhere. It's not anything miraculous or nothing, and he doesn't stop me suffering. But it's like there's this little voice that wants me to keep on the straight and narrow. Though I don't always listen, he tells me not to hate people, not to judge them. Though people don't return the courtesy, mind you. I always try my best. Get the beers on ice, make sure everything looks nice. Recommend the fancy wine and make sure it's poured just right. And you've always got a smile. On a night like this, under normal circumstances, I'd be starting work soon. On nights such as these, there's a gentle breeze and it's late when the sun goes down. In 15 minutes, they'll descend like locusts. A swarm of greedy piggies come to rule the town. They'll want what they want and they'll want it done fast. And they'll expect you to smile with a foot up your ass. Don't give them wrong change, because they won't just complain. They'll shoot daggers like you're the devil incarnate. And so it goes, around and around and around, dragging the little piggies through town. Faces buried in iPads, shoveling down sugar. Ice creams dribbling from their little chins. They'll grow up to be entitled little bastards because mum and dad don't have the time to spend with them. What do you reckon, Grandma? This naughty little virus might just be what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, squeeze in. Frank, have you done the count? Have we got the 350 in here? Good. Now, I've called the family together because... No, Debbie, I don't need a bloody mask. I need to be friggin' heard. Toby Jones from Boning had an incident yesterday, and while he was waiting to get his fingers glued back on, he got tested for this bastard corona thing, and it's come back positive. Now, I'm not worried by this. No, I'm not. And you legends shouldn't be either. Frank, close the bloody door. The pigs are shitting themselves. Now, here at Oakwood, as you know, we are one big family. We take care of our own, so we're going to shut down. And give you some paid R&R. Just for a few days, mind you. We'll take the advice of the bloody Gestapo and do the deep clean for you. Even if it is just a sniffle that they're ruining the bloody economy for and the hospital's fiddling with Toby's results for funding, we'll do it. To protect you. Now, as we are one big family, we don't go outside the circle. We don't talk. Not to nobody. We take care of you. You take care of us. Not a word to the fake news media. Not a word to the wannabe dictators in government trying to use this as an excuse to take away our rights, our constitutional freedoms. Not a word to anyone. That's what all this is about. It starts off with them telling us to eat more vegetables, and then slowly, like a chook in fucking boiling water, it ends with a police state tracking everything we do, pushing bloody vaccinations and 5G onto us. We'll play their game. We'll shut down for a few days. But then we'll get right back out there together. Electrocuting, slaughtering, slicing, hosing out guts knee deep in blood, because this family, each and every one of you, understand that you are an essential part of the Australian way of life. Putting meat on Aussie tables. The meat industry has taken the blame for the SARS, the MERS, the swine, the whole bloody lot. And it hasn't stopped us yet. No bastard flu or disease or whatever you want to call it has come out of an Aussie abattoir. You hear me? We have standards. We're not the bloody Chinese chomping down on raw bats and panda golems. We're not the bastard halal torturers sending money to terrorists overseas. We're clean. And still, there are some that would love to see us shut down. Oh yeah, there is. But I'm not having it, and neither should you. Give us meat, or give us death, am I right? So, after this Ponzi fucking clean, you put your heads down and your knives up. You don't talk to anybody. You keep slaughtering stock at lightning speed, like you do best, knowing that we value you, your family, our family, and families stick together. You're all bloody heroes!
Meh. Farmer Tony rounds us up whilst that damn farm dog keeps barking at us, little bastard. Always frightening us into submission. I don't know why. That dog is half our size, yet we let him so easily control us. That's it, boy. Keep him in line, Rusky, the farmer yells. Sweet disposition, some might say. I'll admit, I'm shy, maybe a little fearful, but I'm here with the rest of them, right behind Roger and Bill. There ain't no better example of safety in numbers. Move faster, Roger. Bloody bastard walks so slow. Good old Roger. He and I had a falling out last week. Word on the street, Roger was speaking ill about me, claiming that I was chewing all the best grass before the others woke up. Of course, turned out the rumours weren't true. That's all water under the bridge now. We're all heading towards that gate over there together. That a boy, keep him in line, Rusky. Farmer Tony's voice is loud and controlled today. All 400 of us don't dare question why we're being led through that gate. I'm just following Roger, who's following Abdul, who's following Kate, who's following Adam. Who wants to be left behind? As we make our way towards that gate, I turn my head and I look up at that magpie sitting on the branch, silently staring at us. Then I glance across past Rebecca, and holy fuck, there's an opening in the flock. I look across with Rusky on the other side, and then I glance forward with the farmer preoccupied with the gate hook. I could so easily make a run for it, through the bushes. Should I? Should I do it? Think, you fucking idiot, think. Panic sets through. Breathe, you slow bastard, breathe. I look up, across, and the others, they're still trotting along to the gate. I can't even see Roger anymore. This is my only chance. Don't stand still, make a move. Fuck it, no. I'm part of this flock. I'm part of this group. There's a reason why we're meant to walk through that gate today. Roger said something about some type of paradise when you pass through those gates. I'm not going to question it now. I've earned that. After giving Farmer Tony my best wool year after year, maybe this is my reward. I'll put my head down and I'll continue making my way like the rest of them. Roger, you prick, wait up for me, I'm coming. Rusky's behind me now, barking, rounding us up. There's no more gap. That magpie's gone. I guess if that magpie was looking down on us now, there'd be no telling us apart. I'd have to tell you, that gate we're walking through doesn't look like there's an open field. Looks more like a shed. Doesn't matter. As long as we're all walking glacially towards Roger's paradise. Bah!
Like I said, everybody there was up for it. True story. And fair play, there's a fuck ton of bog roll involved, but it was all over the road. Boxes of it. Whole neighbourhood descended on it like carrion. We was just going to redistribute it, yes. To old people's homes and that, give them the basics, mate. Are you recording this? My old man seen this full shit show coming too right. When everyone else was thinking snug fuzzies like, oh, we're all in this together. We are not. If we was, I wouldn't have been hijacking bog roll trucks. Which I wasn't. Right from the start, he knew. Straight up, opportunistic, mass manipulation. 10 years ago, right? When all you lot were hunkering down, thinking about your fucking artisanal breads and doing fucking virtual tours through all the world's museums on your great behinds, binging on Tiger King and shit. My dad and I were working it out. We had to jump on this whole fucking game. Bet you even downloaded that fucking safety app too, you fucking sheep. Ah! Is he alright? My dad, seen him go down like a sack of spuds. You didn't need to do that to him. You know, I used to think he was mad. He never had much time for me, and I always kept out of his way because he was always banging on about government surveillance and sovereign state and the unconstitution, and nothing that struck me as fucking useful info at the time. You know, then the first round of ISO came in 2020, and oh man. Early one morning, he shakes me awake, and he says, "Get up, we're going on a trip." And I'm like, "What? Fuck off, no trips. Can't take no fucking trip. We gotta stay at home. We all gotta stay at home." And he like smacks me up the ear hole and he says, "I've been living my life on assumptions and educated guesses that go unquestioned, and get the fuck up." Yeah, all right. And so I'm shitting myself because I reckon he's been up all night. The lounge room's a tip. Reeks of old bong water, and he's all red-eyed and urgent. So we pile into the Mazda, you know, and I can see that he's shaking like a shitting dog. And I think to myself, okie doke. I'm dying today in a horror smash with my dad, fair play. And we drive up high into the back hills and roll into the Atherton shopping village car park by 8 a.m. and he hands me this fucking shopping list and says, "Get 2 trolleys." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Don't even." So I do it. Toilet paper, bleach, canned stuff, your beetroot, your corn, tomatoes, tissues, Panadol, batteries, Tetra packs of milk, jerky, oil, cans of dog food. We didn't even have a dog. So we're gliding back down the hill and here's me with a pallet of baked beans under my feet and a 12-pack of Quilton 3-ply floral print soft double length pressing against the back of my fucking neck. And I look over and I see the old man and he's relieved. It's like he's gone to the dunny and done the most satisfying dump of his entire life. And for the first time, he's talking to me and not talking at me. And he's talking more to me than he ever has in his entire life. And he says that we're partners, and it fills me with, what's the word? Infinity. And we're driving back and he's filling me in at the shape of things to come. The reinfections, the lockdowns, time after time, year after year. And he was right, wasn't he? The surveillance, the harassment, the crackdowns, the civil disobedience, the martial law, the riots. He tells me to throw my phone out the car window. He tells me why. And I throw that fucking phone out the window so hard and so far I can hear it crack and burst on the side of a tree. And he tells me that's the last the government's ever going to hear from me. Till now. Where is my dad? You can't fucking keep me here. I want a lawyer. I'm cold. I'm cold and I need a piss. I can't piss. Handcuffed in a chair. Give me the fucking basics, mate.
For once!
For once,
Please, just listen to me. To us. I'm scared for my people. When I heard that the government had been sending body bags into our communities, my heart dropped. Rumor had it they ordered 2,000 body bags. 2,000. Not for the country, but for the territory. When I heard on the radio that 2 people in one of the remote communities had gotten coronavirus, time stopped for me. And this sense of dread deep within my bones took over my body. This is it. I told my family, this is it. This is how our culture dies. Because people don't want to wash their hands. They want to keep fishing. They don't want to listen. Calm down, people were saying on social media. This will be over in a month. We're isolated. It's not in the community. It's okay. You know the government's trying to control us through this, right? Are you stupid? Haven't you been watching the news? The Italians are running out of pasta. Pasta in Italy. This is serious. So for once, please, just listen to me. I know there's still so many things that need to be reconciled between Aboriginal people and the rest of Australia, but the wider community needs to understand right now how devastating it would be if this virus was to get inside our remote communities. So for once, please, just listen. You see, there's a housing crisis, up to several people living in a 2-bedroom house. Old people, sick people, babies, the very young, all in one house, all sleeping on one mattress. So for once, please, just listen. If one person in that house were to get the virus, it'll be like the bomb dropping over Japan. That might sound like an exaggeration, but it's not. So for once, please, just listen to me. It would ripple effects through the house, out into the communities. We won't just be losing lives, we'll be losing our cultures too. Our languages, our dances, and our songs. 60,000 years of history that has survived invasions, massacres, and the stolen generation dies because people don't want to wash their hands. People won't stop fishing on the weekend. So for once, please, just listen to me and stay off my land.
I was thinking of retiring anyway. 6 weeks, it's been like this. Empty. I secretly prefer it. The truth is, if I'm honest, I don't really like people. I think that's true. But yesterday, I did a small funeral for the requisite 5 people, and I felt something new. Looking into each of those drawn faces, I could read each painful individual story. The faces were more vivid. The intimacy was I spoke in this strange, low tone. I felt like I shouldn't be speaking at all. It reminded me of a time when I still believed in magic. 10 years ago, a single mother moved into the parish with her baby. The baby had severe cerebral palsy, couldn't move at all. Not a single muscle. And the mother came to me and we prayed together for a miracle. But I didn't hold out much hope for the child, for Tegan. And she wanted to put a call out in the local parish newsletter for volunteers to do her idea of homemade physio. And the idea was that if she could get enough people to take it in turns to manipulate the tiny child's limbs for hours every day, that it would stop the muscles from atrophying and even teach the muscles to work by themselves. The magic of healing hands. 47 people applied. And they took it in turns, and they've worked in shifts, for hours, for months, for years. They called themselves Team Tegan, and some of them learned how to change the feeding tubes, and others just kept massaging, just kept it up as a tiny, thin, limp limbs grew longer. Oh God, that's what I miss. Touch. Not what you're thinking. I have a Thai massage once a week, every Wednesday. My one indulgence, not being in a relationship, not being married, at some point I realised that I still need touch. So that's what I do. Yeah, every Wednesday. Well, did. Rest assured, it's relentless self-flagellation every other day of the week. No, there was no magic for Tegan. No miracle. It didn't work. The healing hands. She couldn't even bat a fly from her face when she died, aged 10. That was her funeral. The small one yesterday. But they're all there. I mean, you couldn't say they weren't. Team Tegan. I could practically see each and every one of them. I guess that was a miracle. 47 people. Anyway, I quite like it like this. It's quiet. The truth is, I don't really like people. Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to St Mary's at these strange and bewildering times. Before we get started, just some little bit of housekeeping. A key is missing for the storage cupboard in the vestry. If anyone knows where it is, it's been missing for some time.
I'm not doing it. I can't. I know we're meant to be back today, and obviously I started to get ready, but I've stopped. To be honest, I don't know how anyone can go back. For the first 4 weeks, I did anything to avoid being alone with my thoughts, filling myself up with food, alcohol, drugs, binging TV, Zooming, learning how to make bread from scratch. And then one day I woke up and my mind was racing, searching for more things that I could do to distract me. But there was nothing. I couldn't hide from anything that morning. So I got up and I went over to my lounge chair, not the couch, my lounge chair. It's more comfortable. And I sat down and I looked out of my window at the clouds drifting across the sky. And I started to cry. Just softly at first. But then I started to weep. I haven't been able to stop crying since. I cry at every show that I watch on Netflix. I cry when I see an old person cross the street. Sometimes I just sit and cry for all the beauty of the world. Sometimes I sit and cry for all the cruelty. And then one day, I got up and I just went for a walk in the park. Something I haven't done since I was a kid. And I saw this leaf on a tree. Just one leaf amongst all the other hundreds of leaves. And I had the time to look at it, to just look at a leaf. And I wept. For the first time in my 40 years on this planet, I stopped to look at the magnificence of a leaf. I reached out and I felt the texture, and I saw the veins and its wrinkles. That's what I call them, wrinkles. And then this leaf, it just fell to the ground. And I felt so sorry for it. This tiny little leaf just stranded there on the grass. And I mean, anyone could have come along and just stepped on it, and I'd taken it away from its mother, you know, the tree. And obviously I felt guilty, so I cradled it and I brought it home with me. We only exist within the magic of nature. You know, I never would have realised that before this. I was too busy mindlessly wading through my existence without ever looking out of the window to see that we're killing the very thing that gives us life. Oh, it is so crazy to think that the earth had to give us a virus just so she could rest. She just needed a little bit of quiet so, you know, she could start to heal. It's like she's turned around and shot us in the leg so we can still crawl, but she's just standing over us, pointing a gun at us, hoping that we've learned our lesson, but if we don't learn, she'll just keep shooting until it's bang, right between the eyes. She's being cruel to be kind, is what I'm trying to say. I've had time to stop and listen, and I get it. Oh, great. Rio Tinto has just blown up a sacred site that shows 46,000 years of continual occupation. Just fuck! Why can't we see that there is so much information in this country about how we can work with the land without raping it? But no, we just blow up sacred sites and put 10-year-olds in detention centres and continue a cycle of oppression, forgetting there is 60,000 years of information about this continent available if only we give Aboriginal people a voice. How much noise does the planet have to make before we start to listen? She's made us stop so we can see and hear that she's hurting. How can we not see this is why? We just need to stop. Just stop. All of us, we just need to stop and be still and be silent and listen. I am so still right now that I can hear the silence. It feels like being underwater. Can you hear it? When you can hear the silence, then you can really listen. Listen with me. I look at this leaf and I hear the notes of the music and it's all I need to know that life can be beautiful. All of this crime has just cleaned me out and I feel clean. I don't want to taint who I am now by going back to who I was. I've decided that I'm going to preserve this leaf that I've called Barry. And I'm going to take really good care of him. I'm going to go and rescue some more leaves from the park, and I need to name them all, which, you know, that's going to keep me quite busy. Too busy to come into work, so I guess this is my video of resignation. Obviously, I lied about all the work that I'd managed to complete while I was in lockdown. I haven't done anything. But in another sense, I've done everything. I feel like a letter of resignation trying to explain all of this might have made me seem a bit, you know, crazy. So I'm glad I made a video. It's more professional.
"5 minutes from home, and here is this playing field. I like the tall, dark trees, bluish shadows, a brushed turkey dance hall. Old people arm in arm, the fit and sweaty, dog walkers, the councilman in a sharp green vest, and me, socially distant, 10 times round the oval. Talking to myself, observing greens, hooker's green, may, olive, lime. In this new morning, all the greens smell fresh. Dear Australia, my mother told me you started with a cloudburst. That is why you smell so fresh. She escaped London, smog, and family with my Russian father. I take another walk at night. The skies are quiet, time and silence with me. We are all of us caught, all fragile humanity, in shifting fears. The man with the banner in the US of A, let the weak die, it scrawled. Let the weak die. His friend carried an assault rifle. My rights, he screamed. And the mothers, the brothers and sisters, they keep dying. The uncles, the neighbors, the boy who played violin, the bus driver who let me ride free. Where's he? Yes, I'm worried about food and panic, empty shelves. Not for love or money can you buy a piano, knitting needles, or flour. On Tuesday, it was in the papers, a mountain orchid. A child noticed it, not seen for 140 years. I wondered, was it where the fires were? Reborn in fire? I read they closed the remote places in the top end to keep their elders safe. No one is dying there. I enjoy my great age. The days are sharper, clearer. I have stories, but no one has asked me, old man, what do you hold for us? I had a friend. He belonged there. I understand. I do, I said. He marked the space between us with a wide fury. We did meet again and ate together easily. I married a Hungarian. Our son married a Persian. She dreams of a lost pomegranate orchard. That is what we are here. Beautiful bits and pieces. These fragments, they are polished pebbles in my hands, all the colors so well together. But this drowning death, it creeps around amongst us, frightens everybody, and we cannot touch. All the wet towels, the watermelon seeds and sleepovers, laughing, sulking, and a million crumbs, the hairy dog, the spilt milk, skinny legs all over the place. Grandparents' Day was all missed. The Lego cries in its box, when can we play? We are so tidy here. Now,